So this is the production, and the production is organized into two different sections. One is for electronics, one is for analog products. And the reason is that electronics require some specialized tools, testing and burn-in, compared to analog products, especially turntables, phonemes, and loudspeakers. So the fact that they require different tools means that the workstation itself has to be laid out differently. And you'll find again that we use the same system to design workstations as the systems we use to design carts downstairs. So you see that it's the same type of tubes and joints, because everything you see here has been designed internally. So everything has been designed for this particular environment to build this particular product. So we can take a look at how the electronics are assembled. So this side of production is laid out to build electronics, and so each workstation is designed specifically for electronics, and then each product is built individually, one at a time, tested, and we do two different types of testing. One is electrical, one is functional, and then after testing is done, each product sits on the burn-in card for an amount of time that can go between 3 hours to the entire night. And for some products, we run automated testing and burn-in. For example, this is the test for power supply for the 1000 series, the PSU 1000 and PSU 1250. Power supply for the turntable. What you see here is power supplies for the phono stages. This side is for analog products, and in particular Andrea is building some toners. So this particular toner features a titanium wand because it's particularly light and stiff and rigid, as well as aluminium shell and custom bearings. This workstation is designed for analog products, in particular toners and turntables. And so each toner is built individually by hand. Quanto ci vuole a montare un braccio? And it requires approximately 1 hour per toner.
1 hour?
1 hour per toner. And this is without testing, so just building. Then once the products are finished, the assembly and the testing, then they're stored on these carts, ready to get pushed downstairs, packaged and shipped. And then we have some workstations that are specifically designed for, in this case, laser engraving. So laser engraving is very useful for a couple of reasons. A, because it allows us to engrave the serial number of each product or the name and model of the product. But most importantly, it's really useful to clean up the metal surface, because when you're working with turntables, for example, it's really important that grounding is ensured, and the only way to ensure that grounding is perfect is by cleaning up the surface of the metal, which can be done easily and safely with laser. And lastly, we have service workstation. E su cosa sta lavorando adesso? Daniel. So he's working on one of the older generation amplifiers that we still maintain, because there's still quite a few of these out there in the world, and so every now and then they get shipped in to upgrade.
Right. Oh, for upgrades, you can do upgrades.
You can do upgrades, and that's something that you can do pretty much with every product. In terms of, before we used to do them inside the product. That's why you have to open it and then change boards or components. Cosa stai facendo? Dove questo? Okay, in this case we're upgrading the amp stages in the power amplifier, so the actual transistors that do the amplification.
In what way would customer ask you to upgrade?
So usually it will be through the distributor or through their dealers. So a customer will go to a dealer, then the dealer will contact the distributor, and the distributor will organize the
But
upgrade.
it's really cool that I really hear people say they can upgrade the original piece.
Yeah, and back then it used to be done primarily with components. Now what you can do in some cases is with external components. So you can upgrade your system by adding an external power supply or a tube buffer stage, which is easy to do compared to
But is
upgrade
it-
the product inside.
But for the upgrade, does it only work on certain products, not all?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so testing room is used to test loudspeakers and bending.
I didn't know that. So for every speaker, is this testing for later to ship out, or
Yes, this is the final stage testing. So testing is done in 2 stages.
Right.
First stage is just individual components. So when you get the drivers, for example, and that's quality control. And then once it's fully built and ready to ship, before it ships, that's the second stage testing. Because when you put everything together, you need to retest in case during the assembly something went wrong.